Alright, what's going on, gentlemen? Back again with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about using your own mind on semen retention. So, the reason I want to talk about this is I've had people comment on my stuff, and I'm sure there's more guys than would have commented, that they don't really experience many benefits. You know, they'll be on 80 days or something saying that they're not experiencing anything. So, when I say use your own mind, I mean to use the placebo effect on purpose to your advantage. Alright, so yeah, you can use the placebo effect consciously on purpose, right? The first time that I ever did this was back when I was starting to meditate 6 years ago. As I meditated, right, I would do once a day for about 5 minutes in the morning. If I could get it done in the morning. Sometimes I just couldn't manage to make myself do it, and I knew that I had to do it by the end of the day, right? So as I'm doing this, experiencing it, I'm also looking at the scientific research on meditation. I'm looking on Google, I'm looking at YouTube videos, I'm listening to people talk about their experience of meditation, the benefits, right? I'm purposely typing in the benefits, right? What are the benefits of meditation? So it programmed myself, right? It gave me a natural placebo effect. And all of this started because I thought that monks had a lot of peace. They had a lot of mental peace, and they had mental control, right? They could do anything that they wanted to, basically, with their mind. And so that was the beginning of me being like, well, they meditate, so I can learn how to do that, right? And so you can, the reason for this is scientists studied the placebo effect, right? And when they first kind of discovered that the placebo effect was a thing, they had given people some type of ointment cream that they put on their finger that was a painkiller. That's what they told these people. It was a painkiller. But what it actually was, they gave it some fucking name, you know, lidocaine is a painkiller. They gave it some name like that or something. And they put it on these people's finger, told them it was a painkiller, but really it wasn't. It had no like pain-killing ingredients in it. And they put it on the people, and they measured their pain before they put it on their finger, right? When they applied, they either applied electric shock or heat. I can't remember which one. They measured their pain response, then they put this on, did the same thing, and the people experienced less pain. And they self-reported that they didn't feel pain either, right? So they had a softer pain response physically, and they also said that they felt less pain. They felt less, whatever, right? From the questionnaires. And it was all because they believed that they had a painkiller on their finger, right? So this is the sugar pill. This is the placebo effect. So you can use the placebo effect. They have studied the nocebo effect, that if you don't believe anything is going to happen, nothing will happen. So if you're a guy who, what you've been doing by retaining should bring enough physical health benefits to your body, re-energizing your body and your mind, that you feel better, right? And if you're not experiencing those benefits, right, of increased health and vitality and, energy and masculinity, if you're not experiencing that, placebo yourself into it. When you search for stuff on semen retention for someone's experience, type in benefits, put benefits in there, and be curious of what the benefits are, right? Don't look at the downsides. Don't even look at the downsides. If this is something that you want to commit to and you want to do, you can use your own mind, right? Use your own mind to make it work for you. And to believe, right? Because a deep belief that I hold is that I'm making a sacrifice today of my sexual pleasure, which as a man is what I value a lot, especially from relationships, right? Right? I value sex and sexual pleasure a lot. If I give this up today, tomorrow will be better. Right? So in a subtle way, I'm placeboing myself to better days in the future, right? So this is for the people that if you've approached this as, maybe you approached it like I do a lot of things, where you're open. You're like, other people have said it's good, let me give it a shot and see what happens, right? If you approached it that way and you don't really feel anything, you know, placebo yourself. If you're gonna do it, like, you need to give up porn no matter what. And I believe just the brain benefits that you're gonna experience from that are gonna be so much that there's no way you can deny. You don't have to placebo yourself, which if you do placebo yourself while you simultaneously get the benefits, man, let me tell you, it's an awesome thing. You're in a great place, right? And that's what you want. That's what you want. Get some confidence, feel good about yourself, right? So why not placebo yourself? If you're gonna try this shit, if you're gonna go for 30 days, why not placebo yourself that for the 30 days, like, at least your physical body is getting healthier. You've got more testosterone and sperm, right? I put a fucking study in one of my videos, not a study, but I put a screenshot of a dude who got his testosterone tested over 8 months while he was retaining. This was on Reddit. And his shit went up. His shit went up to the upper levels of what was normal and floated right in there, above and below it, floated right in there when he was retaining for 8 months, dude. That shit was cranked. And he was lifting weights and it was higher. He had a month or two where he stopped lifting and it dropped, right? So, you know, if you're doing all this stuff, right? If you're already doing this, if you're lifting weights and retaining, and you don't really feel all that great, it's because you don't believe that what you're doing is worth it. So maybe you just need to inform yourself. Maybe you just need to do some research on the benefits of exercise and all this stuff and start tying everything in together, you know? Figure out how it's gonna help you with work, help you with your job, right? Hey man, having a muscular body as a man, making your body look good and attractive, helps you with everything. It helps you with business dealings. People respect you more because you have this added muscle, right? And I'm sure I could search the internet right now and find a study that shows that that's true, where they tested guys who lifted weights and didn't lift weights or something, and the ones who did lift weights looked better at job interviews, right? Or just had muscular, fit, healthy bodies compared to people who didn't, right? So, you know, if you're doing that, you should feel good about yourself. When I was selling cars, dude, it'd be summertime, and I would be muscled up, tanned from standing outside. And I was slinging these things, dude. These tight t-shirts. People be coming in with their young daughters and shit. I'd be like, yes, ma'am, we can sell you a car right here. Dude, it was fucking, you know, it just makes it better. It just makes it better. The people respect you more, right? The mom, the dad, the kids, everyone. Everyone just respects you more. Because you're a hard-working man. And you look like a hard-working man. And you are a hard-working man. What you're doing, 90% of people don't do. Straight up, 90% of men are not in shape. 70% are overweight. Right? So, if 70% are overweight, are 20% just not exercising? They're just not fucking fat? Yeah. See those people, right? So, also, you're not sexualizing yourself all the time. You know how great it is to be able to walk around in public and not be constantly concerned with sex? Constantly eyeballing a girl from across the room? right? Because she's eyeballing you. I mean, hey, it's easier for guys to focus and zone in on work and getting shit done than it is for girls. They kind of revolve around men a little more than we revolve around them. Now, the tables have been turned and flipped, right? But that's part of the point of this, is flipping the tables back into your favor, where it's like, dude, you can go in the fucking gym and not be like fucking looking at every single opportunity you get, right? You fucking dudes will be sitting on benches, you know, just staring at girls sometimes, and I'm watching them, and they don't even know that I'm looking right at them, and these girls are doing what they're minding their own business, and the men sometimes are just gathering around the women, and it's like, fuck, dude, that's a bad place to be. That's a really bad place to be. This is turning into a strip club, and these motherfuckers are gonna pull their wallets out soon, right? You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy, right? You just don't want to care too much. The girls are all over the fucking place. They're all over the fucking place. So you'll find a good girl somewhere, right? She's around there somewhere, and there's probably one in each one of these places, right? There's one girl that's pretty tolerable. So you don't have to be concerned with all these crazy women all the time, right? And you're not looking like a fool, always looking around, seeing what's going on around you. You know what I mean? Y'all have seen those people that are always looking around. They're looking to see who else is looking around and watching, right? And you don't want to do that, right? Placebo yourself into a man of action. You want to do stuff. You want to take action. You don't want to be standing around watching someone else. What the fuck? That's just fucking weird, dude. I'll be in the gym and, man, dudes will be on that shit. They'll be watching me or something. And I'm just like, y'all, you know, I'll just be moving, lifting, and dudes will start picking their shit up, trying to work a little harder. And it's like, brother, you can't outwork me because you're watching me. You were already watching me. I was working and you were watching. So you can pick it up and start moving, but you don't have it inside of you for why you're working, right? Because you're watching. I rolled in this bitch working. This is what you want. This is the mindset that you want. You don't want to be a fucking watcher. You don't, and that's, these guys that are watchers are the ones that are watching the women too. They're watching the women. Give a fuck. Give a fuck, dude. Give a fuck, dude. Put the weight on it. Yeah, the women are gonna watch me. Come on, man. Do something. Take some action. Get a pump. Get a real sick pump, dude. And they'll look at you. Right? So, you gotta placebo yourself. You gotta placebo yourself into the belief that what you're doing is beneficial, right? When you're retaining, you're sacrificing your pleasure for purpose. Simple one. You're going through a little bit of uncomfortability now, so you're stronger later. Sacrificing your lust to pursue the Lord. Giving up sexual pleasure so you can find the right woman. Right? There's so many different reasons you can come up with to just placebo yourself into the thing working and making every day better, right? For me, it was porn addiction. I was addicted to porn, and I knew that if I could just get the fuck off of porn, everything else in my life would start to fix itself. That was how I felt. It was like I was a sad person when I started realizing I was addicted to porn. I was depressed. I was depressed. And I never knew how I could have ever ended up that. I was never a sad person. I was never a sad kid. I was always cracking jokes and laughing and having fun, right? I was fucking happy all the time. So what happened? What happened? I'm wondering inside of myself, how am I this fucking weirdo now? This person that's like kind of fucking sad and low energy, low vibe all the time. I'm not like feeling good anymore, right? So it's another story, but I started meditating and realizing everything coming together. But you know, you can placebo yourself into this, that things will get better in your life, things will fix themselves. Because there's so much, if you really do some research, like some look at studies and shit, you don't have to read the whole fucking thing, dude. But you can look at it and read like the abstract, which is them basically explaining what the fuck happened in an abstract way. You can read that and gather pretty well the information. Now, you can't get all the details, but you can gather pretty well enough information that'll help you, right? Semen retention increases testosterone. Do some research on testosterone and successful men, on testosterone and winning, on testosterone and muscle mass, on testosterone and IQ, on testosterone and attractiveness to females. Do some research on all that shit, right? Figure out what all that means and does, and then figure out, does semen retention increase testosterone? Well, there's studies that show that it does. This guy's anecdotal experience here. What's your anecdotal experience? Does it align with this? Yes? Okay, cool. Now we have placeboed ourselves into more success through retaining, into being more attractive to women. More success in everything, right? Women find you attractive. You make more money. You get more gains. You get bigger. And then women find you even more attractive, right? And you get your brain back, you get your happiness back, you get your creativity back, you can crack jokes and stuff, right? And so now your personality's better. And so everybody likes you a little bit more, and now people want to hire you to a new job, making more money, right? The science is all there. And so if you're someone who doesn't believe in semen retention, do your own research. It's right fucking there. And if you're someone who just keeps relapsing and you keep staying in the fucking gutter, you need to do some research and figure out how much your life can fucking change. There's a whole new life out there. One day at a time. Every single day. One day at a time. And I promise you, in 30 days, you will notice a difference. In 30 days, your brain, scientifically, from addiction research, begins to recover. You begin to feel different, right? But you can feel bad up to 2-3 weeks later. But by 30 days, your brain starts to change itself, the chemistry. By 60 days, shit's getting wild. Your brain is coming back to normal. So you go through desensitization, because porn is such a strong stimulus. The scientists call it like a super stimulus or something. It's so strong to our reward system that it is abnormal, and it's because of the constant novelty, the constant being able to switch and change and move and go somewhere else. Your dopamine system loves that shit, right? It's the same thing as scrolling. You get a different topic each fucking video on YouTube, right? Each one is a different topic, and you're getting dopamine the whole time. Novelty, novelty, novelty. What's next? What's next? What's next? Right? And so you can do that endlessly with internet porn, whereas we used to not be able to. So it's hijacking your reward system, and then it desensitizes all of that. You're seeking, right? You're seeking. That's your dopamine. It's your seeking things out, wanting to do things. That gets hijacked. And it gets desensitized. So you stop wanting to do things. You lack discipline, you lack motivation, right? And as that shit begins to recover, life begins to come back. Colors start looking brighter. Music sounds better. Sounds are better. Food tastes better. The colors seem brighter, right? You walk outside on a nice day and you notice that it's a really nice day, that it's really beautiful outside. it's the resensitization of your brain, basically. You've basically overstimulated your brain as a whole, so you don't feel pleasure from the little things in life, right? That's how I felt. Dude, I remember I went on a date with a girl. It was our second date. And I was standing in the parking lot. She was standing, right here, and we're talking to each other. And I could smell her. There was just like a moment where I just got hit with her scent. And she was standing in front of me, and I knew, I was like, dude, what? Like, I haven't been able to just smell a girl when I'm standing in a parking lot. I don't know if ever. Like, I probably could when I was a kid, like high school and shit. But, that shit'll have you, right? Because she smelled good, dude. And I smelled her twice, 2 breaths. I was like, it hit me, and then I was like, and I smelled her again, right? And that was just a resensitization. And I noticed that my nose was stronger than the people around me, like my friends. I'd smell like some shit or some trash or something before they would. And I knew that they didn't. Yeah, it's just different. You can tell that people are kind of zombies because phones have fucked them up. That's the whole thing about this, guys, is it's the cell phone. Your addiction to your cell phone is part of your porn addiction. How many times have you been on your phone? You've checked all your messages. You've checked all your social media. Now you're on Instagram looking at some cheeks, right? Scrolling through. Boom, done for. You were on the phone the whole time. It started on the cell phone. Okay, so you need to placebo yourself out of this shit. You need to placebo yourself all the way out of this shit because it's fucked up. It's super fucked up to be in. And there are people that do not want you to be free of it, right? There were some scientists that put some studies out, and they basically concluded that religiosity, like someone's level of religiosity, faith, compared to a secular person, determined if they were addicted to porn or not. And it was because of the shame. That's what they put it on, was it's all shame, that if you don't believe that it's bad, then it's not bad. That's not true. There are substances and there are actions, behaviors that cause brain changes. Nobody can deny that. The point is the people who are religious have shame and guilt around it because they believe that it's wrong morally, and secular people do not care. They do not believe that it is wrong, right? So they don't feel negativity around it, but their brains respond the same because they're doing the same behavior. Okay? So these people put these studies out trying to convince people that, if you're not Christian, it's okay. You're all in the clear. But if you're one of those dirty Christians, maybe condemn God and jerk off, right? That's what they're trying to say. Weirdos. Real weirdos, yeah? Fucking, right? Fuck those people. Placebo yourself into resisting the fucking system. All right, guys. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel. Share this with a friend. Have a good one.